This is problem number 3 for assessment number 6. It says find the determinant of this 3 by 3 matrix. So if we want to find the determinant, we start with row 1 and we take the elements in row 1 and we're essentially going to multiply these elements, each of these 3, 4, and 5, times a determinant of a 2 by 2. And here's how we come up with those. We start with 3, which is in the row 1 and column 1. We're going to write 3, and we're going to say that we're multiplying that times some determinant, and the determinant is going to be a 2 by 2. Well, how do we come up with that? Well, because we're using 3, we're going to cancel out row 1, and we're going to cancel out column 1, because that's the 3 shares both row 1 and column 1. And you can see what's left is the 2 by 2 matrix that we need to find the determinant of. So we take 3 times the determinant of this 2 by 2 matrix. 6, 3, negative 4, 3. And then we go to the middle term. Now, with when you find the determinant, it's always plus, minus, plus. Now, don't get this confused with this always having to be an addition. If this 3 were negative, we would leave it negative. This addition is just like a multiplication, like we're just multiplying it by a positive, meaning don't change the sign. Whatever the sign is for this 3 value, if it's negative or positive, leave it the same. Now the negative in the middle means this middle term 4, it's going to change the sign. So instead of writing 4, I'm going to write minus 4. And if that were negative 4, I'd write plus 4. But the same rules apply. This is row 1 and column 2, so we're going to blank out row 1 and column 2. And we're going to take it times the determinant that's left for the 2 by 2 matrix, which is negative 4, 3, and 1 and 3. And then we're going to go to the third element, which is 5, top right corner. And that would be the first row. So we're going to say, because it says plus, means don't change that sign. So we're just going to say plus 5 times the determinant. And it's 2 by 2 matrix. We blank out row 1 and column 3. And the 2 by 2 matrix that they want us to use there is negative 4, 6, and 1, negative 4. And so this is how we come up with the determinant for the 3 by 3. We basically break the 3 by 3 down into 2 by 2s multiplied times numbers from the top row. Now, how do we find the determinant of a 2 by 2? We take 6, we take the diagonal from top left to bottom right times, we multiply those, and then we subtract the other diagonal. So multiply the diagonal from top left to bottom right and subtract out the multiplication of the other diagonal. So this will give us 3, and we get 6 times 3, which is 18, minus, and 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Minus 4 times negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. Minus 3 times 1, which is 3, plus 5, and then we have negative 4 times negative 4, which is 16, minus 6 times 1, which is 6. 18 minus negative 12, that's really 18 plus 12, so that's 30. So 3 times 30. Negative 12 minus 3 is negative 15, so it's minus 4 times negative 15. And 5 times 16 minus 6, which is 10. This will give you 90. This right here gives you 60, so positive 60 because negative times negative, and 50 here. If we add all those up, that's 200. And that's the determinant. Now, what's the determinant telling you? The determinant's telling you, and the whole reason to find determinants, is we want to know, does this 3 by 3 matrix have an inverse? Well, if it has an inverse, then its determinant is going to be something other than 0. If it doesn't have an inverse, its determinant would be 0. So 0 means no inverse. Anything other than 0 means inverse. So we can say that an inverse exists.